Okay, so this is still quadratic inequalities, except that this is just finding what x is equal to. So we're solving for x. You can solve these ones any the heck way you want. You can use the quadratic formula if you want. However, you know what I think is the easiest?
What?
Factoring.
Yay.
What number multiplies? What two numbers multiply to be 4?
2.
Okay, so 2 and 2. What other numbers multiply to be 4? Which one of these numbers add to be 5?
The one I said.
4. X plus 4 times x plus 1 is less than or equal to 0. Does that make sense how we can factor that? So what are our two answers?
-4, -1.
-4 and -1, so we had to change the signs. Just like the factoring thing we just did earlier. You could use a quadratic formula, gotten the same answers out, but I think this is even quicker. So now we have to figure out if it's between these two or on the outside of these two. What's the easiest number to check?
0.
Is 0 plus 0 plus 4 less than or equal to 0? No. So is 0 on the outside or the inside of these two numbers? Outside. So does it make sense that on the inside of these two numbers works?
Yeah,
So I'm going to put
yes.
This means x is between -4 and -1. Because this is saying that x is greater than or equal to -4, x is less than or equal to -1. If we wanted to show on a number line, which I didn't ask you to, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. You remember, we've done this, I'm guessing you guys have done this at some point. You could show it like that. We've done stuff like that in the past, we just haven't done it with this section. Questions about that question? Questions about that question? What could we, now this one ends up being a little bit trickier because what's there?
8.
A lot of people didn't notice the 8, and I went, oh god. It made me almost wish I hadn't put that. And I kind of get it. What do we need to do with 8?
Get rid of it.
Subtract 8. X plus x, or x squared plus x minus 6 is greater than 0.
Sure.
What two numbers multiply to be 6?
3, 2.
1 and 6.
-3, 2.
-3 and +2. It could also be -2 and +3.
Let's also see.
Which one gives us the difference of +1?
It's -2 and 3.
X minus 2, x plus 3 is greater than 0.
That would be 2 and -3.
So 2 and -3 are answers. What's the easiest number to check?
0.
0. You can check from the original if you want to. Is 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2 greater than 8?
No.
No. So it's not 0, so it's on the outside of these two.
So 2 is less than.
You can't put it, this is going to be an or, because if you think about it on a number line, if you had 2 and you have -3, it's going to be two open circles, and it's going to go to the right of this one and the left of this one. You can't say it's and, because it can't be greater than 2 and less than 3. It's going to be an or, so you can't combine them into one thing.
Alright, so
If combine them into one thing like this, it only works for an and. So x is less than or equal to -3, or x is greater than, or not or equal to, greater than 2. Note over here, if you put them as separate, you'd write x is greater than or equal to -4, and x is less than or equal to -1. You could write this too for this one if you wanted to.
last section.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Do we have to use the graph?
You do not need to use the graph. In fact, I wouldn't expect you to at all.